Did you know the city that inspired Silent Hill actually exists? And the scariest part, it's still burning today. For decades, mysterious smoke rose from the ground, streets were abandoned, houses disappeared, and residents fled never to return. It sounds like the perfect horror movie script, but it's not fiction. There is a real city in the United States where an underground fire has been burning for more than 60 years. And it was precisely this dark place that helped create one of the scariest games in history. But was Silent Hill inspired only by a real disaster, or are there even more disturbing mysteries hidden behind this story? Today, you'll discover the real city that gave birth to the Silent Hill nightmare. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why some people believe reality can be even scarier than the game itself. When we hear the name Silent Hill, we immediately think of dense fog, empty streets, terrifying sirens, and creatures pulled straight from our worst nightmares. Since the first game launched in 1999, the franchise has become one of the greatest references in psychological horror. But what many fans don't know is that its creators looked to real events for inspiration. The main one was a small town called Centralia, located in the state of Pennsylvania, in the United States. Today, it is considered one of the most famous ghost towns in the world, and its story seems to have come straight out of a horror game. It all began in May 1962. At the time, Centralia was a quiet town with just over 1,000 residents. Families worked, went to school, and lived ordinary lives. But that year, during a cleanup operation at a landfill, workers set fire to a waste area. What no one could have imagined was that beneath the surface lay vast networks of abandoned coal mines. The flames reached those underground tunnels, and the fire began spreading silently. At first, no one noticed the scale of the problem, but it soon became clear that something was very wrong. The fire was advancing for miles beneath the town, and no one could stop it. As the years passed, residents began noticing strange phenomena. Smoke appeared at different points around town. The asphalt cracked without explanation. Some areas became so hot it was impossible to remain in them for long. Toxic gases began escaping from the ground. Trees died for no apparent reason. The landscape seemed to be slowly consumed by some invisible force. During winter, snow melted in specific spots because of the underground heat. The scene was surreal. Streets blanketed in fog, steaming ground, absolute silence, exactly like Silent Hill. But it was in 1981 that the most terrifying episode occurred. A boy named Todd Domboski was playing in his backyard when the ground simply vanished beneath his feet. A massive sinkhole opened without warning. The boy nearly got swallowed by a pit dozens of meters deep. By luck, he managed to grab onto a tree root while family members rushed to help him. The story spread across the United States, and the authorities finally understood that Centralia was becoming uninhabitable. In the years that followed, the government began an evacuation process. Houses were purchased and demolished, schools closed, businesses disappeared. The population dwindled until almost no one remained. Today, only a handful of residents still legally live in the area. Most of the town has vanished. What remains are empty streets, abandoned lots, and a deeply unsettling silence. When Konami's developers began creating Silent Hill, they were searching for a unique atmosphere. They wanted a town that conveyed isolation, fear, and despair. Images of Centralia caught their attention. The constant smoke inspired the game's iconic fog. The empty streets helped build the sense of abandonment, and the idea of a town condemned by an invisible disaster fit perfectly with the psychological horror concept. Although Silent Hill has many influences, Centralia is considered by many fans to be the most obvious one. The scariest part is that the underground fire is still active today. More than 60 years later, experts believe it could keep burning for many more decades, perhaps centuries. Meanwhile, Centralia remains there, almost empty, almost forgotten, like a scar left behind by time, a ghost town wrapped in smoke, just like Silent Hill. Now I want to know what you think. Do you believe Silent Hill was only inspired by Centralia? Or is there something darker behind this story? Leave your answer in the comments. And if you enjoy real stories that inspired horror films, series, and games, subscribe, because the next story might be even scarier.